our series on version SAP Business One version 9.0. We're going to be starting off today with the advanced account GL determination, and I'm excited to have Christine, who works with me at Encaptis. She is an SAP Business One implementation consultant and has been doing her due diligence on the advanced determination. So I'm very excited to welcome her. And Christine, are you on the line?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I'm just going to change the presenter to you.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Can everyone see my screen and hear me?
Yep, we're good.
Yep. All right. So today we'll have, on the agenda, we'll do an introduction about what are the GL account determination in previous versions of SAP, and then what are the advantages of the new solution that is offered in the new version SAP 9.0. Then we'll have a solution overview of how the new functionality works, and that will be followed by an example live into SAP. Then we'll have a more open Q&A session where you can ask me questions and we can do examples together. So what's the general ledger account determination? So that has always been available in the previous versions of SAP. It allows you to define at a higher level where your sales, your purchasing, your general and inventory transaction will be posted to. The configuration of the GL account determination allows the automatic posting through all the documents created in SAP Business One, whether you do an AP invoice, an AR invoice, an inventory transfer. The GL account postings, all the postings are seamless to the end users because it's all configured to at a higher level in that GL account determination window. So how does it work? In previous version of SAP Business One, GL account determinations are set up on the inventory master data. We have a choice of 3 options under the inventory data tab. So you can set the GL accounts by warehouse, item group, or item level. So when you set up your GL determination by item, then you have to set all your revenue accounts, your inventory accounts for that specific item. So if you use that item into a document, then it will trigger different GL postings. Then you can choose a higher level, which would be the item group. So if your item belongs to a group, then all the postings will be determined on the level of the item group. Same for the warehouse. If you set up your accounting GL determination on the warehouse level, every time you do a transaction on one of the other warehouse, then this will trigger another set of GL accounts. So right now you can really only choose from one of those 3 levels, so the warehouse, the item group, or the item level. You'll see later on in the presentation that the advanced GL determination allows you to actually have different criteria and have more, many more rules on how to determine where the transaction should be posted to. Okay, so we're just going to have an example of a simple GL account determination and how it works today in SAP Business One in all the versions prior to 9.0. So in this example here, we're going to create 2 sales invoices for the sale of the same item. It's going to be A0001, but from 2 different warehouses. For this item, on the item master data, I've set up the GL account determination by warehouse. And I've set up you'll see we have 2 warehouses in the example. and they both have different GL accounts determination. So those of you who already use SAP Business One probably know this process already. So in the next slides, we'll observe the differences between the two postings that have been created in SAP when we post an invoice for A00001.
There are 7 other columns on the call.
So on the left-hand side, I'm having an invoice for from the Toronto warehouse. So you can see this is a screenshot of the error invoice. On the row where we've chosen A001, quantity 1, and you see we're selling it from warehouse number 1. Now at the bottom of the screen, I put a screenshot of our warehouse setup. In the accounting tab, this is where we set up. This is the higher level. I set this up so that all revenue, inventory accounts, and cost of goods sold will be posted to specific Ontario revenues because the warehouse is in Ontario. As a result, in the journal entry, the postings are made on those GL accounts that are set up on the warehouse GL account determination window. On the right-hand side of the screen, you see the exactly same AR invoice. The only difference is the warehouse number here, where we sold the same item from warehouse number 10. As a result, all the GL accounts that are used in the background in the journal entry are the BCGL accounts. This allows you to have a P&L, to run a P&L by province here. Like if you want to see your P&L for the Ontario location and then for your BC location, all the postings are directed to the right GL account. So this is the standard GL account determination. Now SAP brings in an enhanced solution for the GL account determination. So the advantages are that it allows you for more criteria for the GL determination, such as the ship to country of your documents, the business partner group, or a ship to state, so that will be in your customer's address or your vendor address. What is the state? That could be a trigger for a different GL determination. Then you can prioritize the criteria. What is the most important for you in your business analysis, and what are your reporting needs? As a result, you do have an enhanced financial reporting that's more relevant to your business model. It's also easy to implement because we have a centralized matrix where all the rules are defined and all the priorities can be defined. It's not in the warehouses or the item group anymore. It's all in one window. Also, the GL determination rules can be associated to a posting period. So if you decide to change your posting rules from, let's say, from one fiscal year to the other, you can save your settings by fiscal year, so that if you need to do a posting in the previous fiscal year, this will follow the management rules for posting to the GL accounts that you had in the fiscal year. So this allows for consistency through time. Now, how to initiate the advanced GL account determination in SAP? So first of all, well, your SAP installation should be upgraded to version 9.0. And the advanced GL account determination is an option in 9.0. Like if you upgrade your regular, your standard GL determination, we will work the same way as the prior versions, but you can enable the advanced GL determination. In this case, this will there's a migration tool that will take all your current roles and translate them into the roles for the GL account determination, and you can add some roles to your initial roles. If you're a new customer, if you're using SAP Business One for the first time on version 9.0, you don't have to migrate your initial settings to new settings. You just have to enable the advanced GL determination and set up your GL determination with your consultant and your accountant during the implementation. So it's a fairly easy solution to activate. You'll see in the next slide how we set up the rules. It is quite easy, but it does need to have like a lot of accounting control because it's a configuration at a higher level. So first of all, we do have to determine criteria, which the rules will be based on those criteria you set, and all criteria will have a priority. So under administration, setup, financials, GL account determination criteria, we can set up to 10 criteria, decide whether we want to use them or not by checking the box to activate the criteria, and then using the arrows we can determine which priority each of the criteria will have in the rules. So in this example here on the screen, the business partner code has the highest priority. So in the ruling of the GL determination, the system will first look into the business partner code to check whether a rule is set up for this specific business partner, and then it will look into the warehouse code and the ship to country, and then the business partner group. So all the GL account determination are in a centralized matrix under your financial setup. So when we used to have those set up under warehouses or item group, these are all now centralized in this GL account determination window for your sales, purchasing, general, and inventory transactions. So we do now have a new column here, advanced rules, that will display with the yellow arrow if yes or no there is a rule that applies for this account and how many rules apply. If no rule is set up in that advanced rule, then in the transaction, the system will use the account code that is displayed in account code, which is the default account code to be used in all transactions. If during the transactions none of the rules criteria are met, then the default account displayed under account code will be used. Now, when we set up a rule, so if I click on that golden arrow, this is where I see all my criteria by priority. So from left to right, I see that my BP code is on the far left here on that window because it has the highest priority. That's what I determine in my criteria. Then the warehouse code, then the ship to countries, the business. That was, I can't remember which one was this one. The business partner group. So I'll come back to this slide here. So we've got priorities here from left to right, and then you can also set up a priority on the left-hand side to tell the system which one of the rules overrides the other one. Then you also see on the top of the screen the period here. So that's 2013. That means my rules are valid for the 2013 fiscal year. So in 2014, you can change the rule if you need to. So in that matrix here with all the criteria, we can set up values for the criteria that will set up the rule. So here in my line, the line number 1 with the code R1, I've not selected a particular business partner code, so this rule is valid for all business partners. But in the transaction, if I use a transaction on warehouse number 10, then you'll see on the right-hand side that I want the inventory account 1351 to be debited or credited, depending on the nature of the transaction. The cost of goods sold also have its own account, which is different than the default. If none of the values are met, then the system will use the value of the default in the account code column here in the GL account determination. So here's a flow, or the system logic, when a document is entered in SAP, and what's the logic that's followed by SAP. Sorry about that. So first, the system looks into all the rows of any document. It could be an AP invoice, a AR invoice, a goods receipt PO, and the system checks if there's any advance rule. If there's no advance rule, then it's quite simple. We'll take the default GL account that's set in the GL account determination window. If there is, then the system will look into the criteria of the rule and see if any of the criteria are met. Then, if some criteria are met, then the system will use the highest priority in the advanced rules. If no criteria are met, then we'll use the default GL account. Here, an example on the screenshot of different criteria and how it looks like on a document. So the criteria could be the business partner code, and that depends on the customer code. So from the customer code, we know the ship to country, the ship to state, the business partner group. So the criteria could be a value of the header of the document, or a value of the row of the document, as in an item code or an item group or a warehouse code. Now, I'm going to show you an example in SAP using the sample database from OEC Computers. So in this example, we sell computers and computer parts in Canada, in the US, and in other countries. The head office is located in Toronto, and OEC Computers has expanded their business and have a new branch in Vancouver, BC, and have more reporting needs because they want to see a P&L for the Vancouver warehouse and for the BC warehouse for the two locations, and they want to see a breakdown of the sales, whether they're domestic sales, US or foreign sales. They also have another layer of reporting needs where they want to have a very close reporting on a specific item. I've chosen item IBM A0002 so that we have GL entries posted in specific GL accounts for this account only. So I'll switch to SAP now, and I'll do a little demo, and we'll have a Q&A session afterwards. There we go. So first of all, I'll show you the setup of the rules. So I'm going to go to Administration, Setup, Financials, and then GL Account Determination. First thing, I'll show you my determination criteria. So here, I've chosen the item code, the item group, the warehouse code, and the ship to country. They all checked here and grayed out because those criteria are active in the rules that I have set up in the GL account determination window. Now, I'll open the GL account determination window. So this is where we have all our settings for the postings for sales, purchasing, general, and inventory transactions. So here you can see on the right-hand side the column called Advanced Rules. So I have set up rules on the revenue accounts, the inventory account, and the cost of goods sold account. Now, if I want to see all the rules, I just have to click on that yellow arrow here. So here are all my rules, all lined up by order of priority. So the strongest criteria here is my item code. And then if I have any transaction posted for the item code A0002, I want them to be posted to that specific inventory account, specific cost of goods sold account, and specific revenue account. Here it doesn't really matter if it's from Warehouse 1 or Warehouse 2, but it does matter if it's shipped to Canada, so if it's a domestic sale, to the US, or if it's a foreign sale. So you can see that those three first lines here are all set up for item code A002. Then we have, let me check here. So B1 and B2, these are for warehouse number 1, which is my warehouse in Toronto, my main warehouse. Then if we ship to Canada, then it will be posted to a specific account. So we know we've got segments here in the GL account. This is where I sell for the Ontario office, and it's shipping to Canada. So we have a specific domestic account here. Okay, so let me read that GL account here. So we've got our natural account for the cost of goods sold. Then we save it into for the Ontario office, and then we know that it was a domestic sale in Canada. The last segment doesn't really matter. It does not have any signification for now. The second line is for Ontario sales sold to the US market. Then we have the same breakdown for the sales from the Vancouver warehouse. Same thing, if they sold in Canada, in the US. Then the two last line here or for any foreign, so any sales that do not meet the criteria US or Canada. So it could be a sale from Toronto to any country but Canada or US. Then it will go to the account here where it's a sale from Ontario, but it will post it to a foreign sale account. Same thing for the second line, where it will be posted to an account for the BC sales to the foreign market. So here, as you can see from the screen, like I have a highly segmented chart of accounts. So when you use the advanced GL determination, it is better to have a highly segmented chart of accounts, just because you can do further reporting on this, because I can see all my sales. I can run a P&L for Ontario or a P&L for foreign sales. Now, I'm going to show you an example with invoices. I'll go to the AR module, AR invoice. Let's do a sale in Canada. I know that their country is Canada here for microchips. And I'm going to sell that specific item, that IBM item that we want to keep a close eye on. So we'll ship a quantity of 10 from the Toronto warehouse. Now, if I go to my journal entry preview, let me just expand this here. So, microchip balance will go up. That's standard. Then your revenue, inventory, and COGS account will be moved according to the GL account determination rule. So the system has detected that we're doing a sale for item number A002 that has the highest priority in the rules. So the posting for revenue, cost of goods sold, and inventory for this item will go to those specific accounts that we've set up in the GL account determination rule. Now, if I've not posted the invoice, I'm just going to change the warehouse here. If I actually had bound that same sale from the BC warehouse, now I check my journal entry. No, we can't sell this one from warehouse state. Sorry about that. Let me just post this one for now. I'm going to do another example with a sale to the US for an item which is not A002. I'll choose number 1 for quantity of 10. So this is sold from Toronto here. We'll have a look at the journal entries. So we know that it's sales from the Ontario office and into the US market. It goes out of the Ontario warehouse, so we choose the inventory from Ontario, and the cost of goods sold account is also Ontario for the foreign market USA. Now if I change the warehouse, I'm going to choose the BC warehouse. There. So the the market has not changed because it's a criteria on the level of the customer. So the ship to country is the USA. So the sales do belong to the British Columbia warehouse towards the US market, and so on with the so the inventory goes out of BC, and the cost of goods sold is also a BC account. I'll close this and add it here. Now I'm going to do a sale to a customer outside of outside of the North America. For that printer from IBM here, that A002, which is going to sell one from warehouse 1. It's the only warehouse we can sell this item from. I'll look at the preview. They have exceeded the credit limit. Yes, I want to continue. So here we see that the accounts that are triggered of the revenue for that special sale for that special item in Ontario for the foreign market, and so on for the inventory account and the cost of goods sold account. Okay, so I've added this invoice. I'm just going to show you now how it looks like in your financial, how your P&L will look like. So I go to my financial report, accounting. No, it's going to be in the financial and your profit and loss statement here. So I've posted a few invoices in that fiscal year 2013. I can choose the segments here. In the location here, I can choose from Vancouver, Toronto. If I want to see all the postings that were posted for the Vancouver warehouse. Let me just increase the view here. So we see all the sales that have been posting that have been posted for that segment BC here. So we've got our sales revenue here, sales for BC, independent of the market they went to, so domestic, USA. If they had made a sales for the foreign market, then we will have the other type of sales here. And same for the cost of goods sold here. So of course, if you wanted to have your expenses here, you would post the expenses to different accounts with that segment BC, and they would show on that P&L here on the expenses. Right now, this is a very simple example with only revenues and cost of sales. I'm just going to go back to the parameter screen and choose other segments here. I want to see the domestic sales. So I've put parameters, so here this is BC. What has BC done for the domestic market? So there, they have 1,700 sales on the domestic market. They made a gross profit of $500. Now let's have a look at other markets. Look at their sales on the U.S. market. Well, they did much better on the U.S. market here. Did more sales on the U.S. market for the inventory for the warehouse in British Columbia. So here you see that you've got quite a lot more parameters here to choose from. Once you have a segmented chart of segmented chart of account and different roles in your GL account determination, that allows you to have very fine reporting. Okay, so I'm done with that demonstration here. So if you have any questions, or if you would like to see another example, then you can type it in the chat, and I can unmute the phone, and we can have more of a conversation. So feel free to type in a question in the chat box.